Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Holly Maloney and Stephanie Thompson. They are from Quota International, working with hearing impaired children and adults. You do a number of projects that help families. Tell us a little bit about them.
Our biggest one, we've traditionally focused on speech and hearing, but we also do things for disadvantaged women and children. One of the things that we had instigated probably 10, maybe 15 years ago was to provide sound field systems for the Massillon area schools. And I went in to actually see one at one of the Perry grade schools. It was a first grade, and was totally amazed. The teacher wears kind of a little microphone around her neck, which she can turn off and on as is needed. And there are speakers in the room so that no matter where a child is standing, he can hear the teacher, whether her back is to them or not. And so it's not actually only for hearing impaired children. It's those with ADHD, anyone who has an attention problem, just to get a first grader's attention when there are, 20 kids in a classroom.
Which can be a trick anyway.
Yes.
And then especially if someone is hearing impaired. And
right.
When I taught in a second grade classroom and I had a hearing impaired student, that was always a thing, to try to be facing their correct ear. And you didn't want to have your back to them because they may or may not hear what you have to say. And particularly if they were a lip reader, they really couldn't tell what you had to say. So that kind of takes a little bit of pressure off the teacher, that kind of a sound system.
Right. The teachers love them. Like I said, it's a benefit for them. They don't have to raise their voice.
Right.
Because it's amplified into the room and all the kids can hear. But yet if they're working in small groups, she can turn it off so that just the kids in her little group can hear what she's saying. So I think our club has purchased at least 250 amplification systems for the schools. And we did write a lot of grants and got grant money from a lot of foundations in the area to pay for them. Mm-hmm. So that's been a great project. Also, our Sound Beginnings, we actually started that. Dr. Carrie Spangler, who's an audiologist, she started the program to help these families because in the early 2000s, our club was instrumental with Kirk Schuring in getting this legislation passed in Ohio where all newborns that are born in a hospital are tested before they leave for hearing.
Oh, thank goodness that legislation passed. That's how you found out about Kate.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we thought, well, now we have this great legislation, but then what do these families do? As you heard Stephanie say, those hearing aids are not covered by insurance.
So what do families do? Because that's crazy.
Well, if they can afford them, they would pay for them themselves, or the child may have to go without until they could afford them.
That just doesn't seem, that is unacceptable. There's no reason a child who is not hearing should be able to go or forced to go without hearing aids. That doesn't sit well. It's not cool. So how does Quota step in there and assist the families?
That's why we started the Sound Beginnings program, where we provided the first set of hearing aids for any child under 6 that was diagnosed with hearing loss in the Stark County area. So that's how our program started. And then probably about 5-6 years ago, a group from Cincinnati came up to look at our program that Carrie had designed and was running. And they have a foundation down there at their hospital that has lots and lots of money. So they actually patterned their program after our Sound Beginnings program. So anyone in Ohio now can get hearing aids.
How does that make you feel? You were the model of this thing that has become much larger now and reaches this many more children. What does that do for you?
Well, it makes us really proud that, number one, we got the legislation passed or helped get it passed, and then, set up this program and did fundraisers to fund the money that's needed to purchase the hearing aids for any of the families that need them.
Very, very cool. So you had mentioned before we went on the air, I was hearing you say some things that I didn't understand. C, chat, O, hat. What are these?
I'm going to let Stephanie talk about those.
The C-Chat is a program through Cincinnati that will pay for the first set of hearing aids.
Okay.
So when you go to the audiologist for the follow-up testing, after your newborn fails the test, if they do need hearing aids, they will put you in contact and help you get the application through. That's how we found Sound Beginnings with Kate, is that our audiologist had worked with them, knew we were from Stark County, and was like, this program will pay for it. And so then I was like, who's paying for it? I need to thank them, which is why I became a member, because we have 3 kids under 6 right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Having to pay for
Yeah.
hearing aids on top of just regular financial needs of a family is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Since then, they realize that every 2 to maybe 3 years, 3 to 5 years is what they give for a standard hearing aids life. Kids can be a little tough on them.
Well, right. You're talking about kids.
So between loss and just damage,
Sure.
you're looking at maybe a 3-year life on these hearing aids. So if you have a kid that's diagnosed at birth
Yeah.
and they get them at 3 to 6 months, which is the goal, and they're doing a fantastic job, by the time the kid starts school, they need new hearing aids.
Sure.
And those are going to come at the cost of the family because insurance is still not going to step in. So Kurt Schering and some other legislators in Ohio have started to say that we need to start covering them. So there are programs through Ohio. You have to be a genius to apply for them because there's a lot of politics involved in it. But
And they do have limited funds also. I think Carrie and Kirk Schering were instrumental in getting that passed in a budget several years ago. And I think it was $250,000 a year. You had to have a financial need, which sounds like a lot of money. But when you break it up into the 88 counties in Ohio, that's 1 hearing aid per county.
Oh, wow.
That's nothing.
Okay.
I mean, at least it
right.
was something.
But it's a start.
Not
It's a
enough.
It's a start.
It's
So
a
you
step in
can
the right
you can
direction.
apply. They'll cover some. It's financial based. So based on the size of your family, based on how much money you bring in, they will decide how much they're going to pay for it. But it is a hassle to apply for, and a lot of people don't fill out the paperwork because it's so difficult.
It sounds like maybe that might be another thing, quote, I'll put this in the suggestion box, maybe assistance in helping to fill out that paperwork, because I worked at a college and I had trouble with the FAFSA form. So I hear where you're going.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things are just really complicated, and that may be to weed people out so fewer people apply.
It is.
Is it?
I guarantee you that's
Oh, my
what
goodness.
it's for, but it's complicated.
Did I hear you right in that there is a prejudice against children with hearing loss who live in families of hearing parents to get these kinds of funds, as opposed to families where hearing loss goes from parent to child generationally?
Prejudice isn't the right word.
What would be the right word?
You're talking about a culture.
Okay.
If hearing loss is a part of your family, it becomes part of the family culture and the dynamic of the family. They might have other strategies. They might choose not to aid their kids because they might use sign language. They might choose other modalities of language and communication for that family. If you have a child born into a family that has no background with sign language or no background with hearing loss, the only thing we can think of is, well, you have to be able to hear. So, because I don't know how else to talk to you, or I don't know how else to function. So it's a cultural.
But it seemed like it's tougher for you to get the assistance than, because they think, because that you were saying that it was cosmetic in this instance.
It's cosmetic, and it would be cosmetic for a family
where everybody
where
has a hearing loss. Okay.
So it's across the board. It's cosmetic. It's just harder for those of us who are hearing, who have kids with hearing loss of any type, because we're not accustomed to the culture.
Right. Oh, it's a brand new world.
It is a totally different world.
And it's a neat one, isn't it?
Very.
Aren't you getting to meet some really neat families?
Yes.
Yes. It is cool. But who decides these things? Who is the person that sits down and says, oh, that's just cosmetic? These people don't need help. That's not a medical issue. So no insurance for you. Who does that?
The insurance companies.
I mean, I sat down and figured out how much it would be every 3 years over the course of her life if she lives to be 80, which is very conservative. And at $3,000 a pop, you're looking at over $100,000 out of pocket over the course of her life.
My goodness. All right. Well, something's got to be done. Hey, let's have a princess tea. Well, let's talk about that before you leave, because these are some of the ways that Quota sustains itself and helps these families. So March 17th, I can't wait. Tell us about it.
We've, for the last probably 5, 6, 7 years, we've had a Princess Tea Party. And actually, we don't use the money generated from this fundraiser for our projects. Like I said at the beginning, we're a worldwide or are part of a worldwide organization. And a lot of our clubs are in third world countries, or those that have very little. We have clubs in the Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, but a lot of other third world countries. So the money that we raise from the Tea Party, we actually send to Quota International, which is our, parent company or parent organization, and they distribute those funds to to needy clubs that are running great projects that they don't have the money for. And some of them just break your heart, where they have newborn preemie babies in shoe boxes. They don't have incubators and things. So things that we take for granted, that's what some of these programs are dealing with in those third world countries. So all the money from that particular fundraiser goes towards worldwide projects. But we have a reverse raffle every year, or have had the last 3 years in the fall, and we raise money for our projects. Our biggest one is our dinner and auction. This is our 23rd year. Our auction is going to be April 21st at the St. George Cultural Center in Massillon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
great. And backing up to March 17th, Princess Tea takes place at Five Oaks, the Massillon Women's Club.
Yes.
Tickets are selling fast. Tell us how neat this event is and how to get tickets if there are any remaining.
Tickets, they can... I should have put Judy Ryder's phone number down, but they can give me a call at 330-833-5868, and I can put them in touch with the committee chairperson. The Tea Party is really a fun event. We have a princess that comes who sings fun little songs for the little girls. The girls dress up as princesses if they want, or their best dress, and they come with their moms and their grandmas and their aunts, and we just have a nice little luncheon for them, and they're entertained by our princess. And this year, since our Princess Tea Party is on St. Patrick's Day, we're actually going to have Irish dancers.
Oh, how cool.
That are going to dance for the girls, show them a couple of Irish dances.
Oh, my goodness, they will love that, because usually it's ballerinas.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
It has been. But we thought that the Irish dancers would be appropriate on St. Patrick's Day.
I can't wait. It is the most fun thing. And yes, they're just, it's the best thing, next best thing to go into Disney World.
Yes.
Because it's all the Disney music and everybody dressed up. And then, it is, you feel like you're in a little castle.
Yes.
There at the Massillon Women's Club. And it's fabulous. Bring the little girl in your life.
Yes, we have a great time with those little girls. They really enjoy it.
It really is so much fun. And my goodness, what a wonderful cause. I think even just knowing that it goes to such a great cause worldwide would be reason enough to attend, even if you don't have a little girl in your life. Just go see the Princess Tea. It's pretty awesome. Tell us a little more about the auction. How do we get tickets for that? And
again, they can give me a call.
Okay.
And we can get them tickets for the event. They're $50 to $55 a person.
And that's a reverse raffle?
No, it's an actual dinner. We have a dinner there, and then we have a silent and a small live auction every year. We usually raise about net about $40,000 for our projects each year.
Wonderful.
So that's our main fundraiser every year. So we like to have a lot of people come and bid and help us raise money.
Awesome. And we probably can go to MassillonQuota.org for more information on that.
Yes.
The number to call. Holly, nice of you to take these calls. 230-833-5868. You can also find Massillon Quota Club on Facebook, or you can write to them at P.O. Box 81, Massillon, Ohio, 44648. Holly Maloney and Stephanie Thompson, thank you so much for what you're doing in our community.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.